What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Tuesday out there, everyone, everywhere. We're back for the daily Jeromes live stream. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good time. So your live chat, rise up. What's up? We got your questions. We got some talkers. We got some, that's how we do. Every single day, an hour, but really more like 52 minutes or even 45 minutes of Vikings football talk. It's a good time. Jeromes, thank you very much for coming along. You guys are the best. If you want to support the work, use our Amazon link, purplefdw.com/Amazon. It's really easy to do. Just go to the Amazon through our link, bookmark it. Every time you buy something, use that link. We'll get a little bit of the credit, a little bit of the action, cost you nothing extra. A great way to support the channel. So there you go. I had to say that, otherwise producer Ali would rock me. Also, Teespring. Green Bay Tears mugs, get them down below. You guys are the best. Thank you very much for coming along on this Tuesday. Feels like a weird Tuesday. I don't know why. I feel like there's going to be some big news dropping today. And now I have no insight into why, but I mean, yesterday was just a weird day. You had the whole Chuba Hubbard, Mike Gundy thing. Was it really a big deal? Was it not a big deal? That's for you to decide. But just weird things happen. It's weird things happen. I think Chuba Hubbard should try and get into the supplemental draft. I don't think the NFL would deny him. And then I think the Vikings should throw a second-round pick at Chuba Hubbard, because why the hell not at that point? That really give some leverage in the Dalvin Cook negotiations. But live chat, thank you very much for coming along. You guys are the best. We'll do some shouts here in a hot sec. We got some questions. So the question that we put out to the Jeromes was, what is your ride or die candy? So I'm not that big of a candy person. Like, if you told me that you would give me $5,000 to never eat chocolate again in my life, I would easily take that money. I just like chocolate. It's like whatever. I do like fruit candy though. Like Starburst. If that counts as fruit. Like Starburst, Laffy Taffy, like pink and red Starbursts. Pink Laffy Taffy. Yeah. Also, so like Jolly Rancher jelly beans, pretty phenomenal as well. Like, I don't know, like I'm sort of weird. Like, I can go months without eating anything sweet or anything candy related at all, despite what Bears fans say, calling me fat all the time. Also, am I really that fat? I feel like I'm a perfectly average dad, but yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I would say Starburst and Laffy Taffy for sure. So first up comes from Luke McCaffrey fan 12. If you're a GM, how would you handle the Dalvin Cook situation? Well, I would handle it the way that the Vikings are currently. They're at the negotiating table. They're starting out low, but the fact that they're even there shows that they are open to dealing, because I think the Vikings clearly have all the leverage with the new CBA. So I think Dalvin's side will eventually see that, and the deal that I would give is the deal that we proposed. Let's look that up real quick, because we just did the video on it, but we'll look at it again. Yeah, Bears fans call me fat. What's going on? Why? All right, so this is the deal that we proposed in the video. So 3-year, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed, $10 million signing bonus up front. 2021 is fully guaranteed. 2022 and 2023 are team options. Vikings can get out of the deal after 2021 with only $5 million debt in cap. Also, there's incentives in that deal that could push it up to $16 million per year. So hedges the Vikings, protects them just in case Dalvin doesn't stay healthy. But Dalvin, if he's healthy and rocking it, all of a sudden, boom, he is the highest paid running back in the league, or up there with Christian McCaffrey. So I think at this stage, since he has no leverage, I think this is more than fair. But of course, since it's so fair, both sides won't come to it, because, everything is stupid right now. Next up is Big Grover. Whatchamacallit is the most underrated candy bar by far. Now, I vaguely know what this is. I don't think I've seen this in a long time. Like, is this still a thing? Yeah, Hershey's. All right, so crispy rice candy bar. I will say, like, if you're going to go for chocolate, something with texture is really big. So, well, Butterfinger doesn't really count, but, like, Crunch Bar is really... Oh, hold on. Halloween, Hershey's. So the candy bars that you only really see at Halloween in the mini size. I'm trying to find them here. No, that's not it. Oh, come on. It's got to be something. Hershey's mini candy bars. Because they come in a giant bag and... Oh, is that it? Maybe, oh, yeah, that's it. All right, so Mr. Goodbar and Crackle. Like, when's the last time you saw a full-size Crackle or Mr. Goodbar? Like, I swear that they're only in, like, the mini Halloween bags. I'm going to die on this hill. And I know someone on the live chat would be like, well, the gas station down the street has full-size Crackles. I think you're the only one. It's like the last Blockbuster. Yeah. You may notice I'm wearing the sweatshirt because one of my favorite things is crank on the air conditioning when it's really hot out and wear a sweatshirt inside. That's my favorite ugly American thing to do. It's going to be a high of 90 here in the beautiful Twin Cities today. So yeah, lots of light for the looters. Great. Next up is I don't know if you've ever seen a Tom Grossi video, but he has like 13 to 14 Packer hats on his wall. You should collaborate with one of those hats. I feel like half of the questions are just like, hey, you should work with Tom Grossi. Josiah Jenkins. Dolphins offer a second and Josh Rosen for Dalvin. Do we take it? Ooh. Now, is it their second or is it Houston's second? Because they have both. Actually, I think Houston may do worse than the Dolphins this year. I think the Dolphins could be in the AFC East race. I would do it. Because I think Rosen is clearly an upgrade over Mannion. If you use that second, actually no, if you use the Vikings second after you get that's the Houston second from the Dolphins. If you use the Vikings second in the supplemental draft for Chuba Hubbard, I'm fully all in. I think Hubbard and Madison would just be absolutely just like gross, just like absolutely disgusting as a tandem. Sandman66. What game in the regular 2019 season did you enjoy watching the most and why? All right, so let's take a look. PFR 2019 Vikings. Actually, it might be good just to go down memory lane because you forget about some of these games. All right, so the Falcons win, even though Grady Jarrett handed Bradbury's ass to him. I mean, that was probably the worst game of Bradbury's career at the start. It's a tough ask. But Bradbury got a lot better as the season went along. All right, so the week 2 loss at Green Bay. So that was the game where the Vikings just gave the Packers 21 points. And then Cousins had a chance to win the game at the end, and he threw into like triple coverage to Diggs. So that was not great. Raiders, it was like whatever. The Bears lost. That was rough because Chase Daniel was starting. Also, the Bears didn't have Akeem Hicks. So it was Eddie Goldman and Roy Robert Harris, or RRH, whatever his name is, just destroyed. Also, 44, the linebacker, Kwiatkowski, who I think is with the Raiders now, just absolutely destroyed. Not great. The Giants win. That was a nice win. The Giants were not ready for prime time. Did Saquon even play in this game? Pretty sure he did. But just to make sure we're not... Actually, no, Saquon didn't play in this game. That's right. Dalvin go for $132. What up? What up, player? Thielen 7 for 132. Oh, yeah, I remember. This is the game that Rhodes just absolutely got annihilated by something called Darius Slayton. Where it's just like, I think the Giants game was the one where you're like, all right, I'm completely over Xavier Rhodes. Done. Eagles at home. That was an ass whooping. Oh, that was the Zach Brown game. Zach Brown, former teammates were Kirk Cousins in Washington, just talking mad-ish about Kirk. And he was cut after this game, which is just hilarious. Beatdown of the Lions at Detroit, which is great. Thursday night. Really boring-ass game against Washington. It just really was, but nice win there. Lost to the Chiefs and stupid Matt Moore. Vikings had a bunch of opportunities to win that game. They just gave it away. Really nice win. Primetime Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. That's always great. So this is what bugged me. I guess my favorite game from last year was it's probably the Chargers game. We'll get to that. But what bugs me about the Broncos game, because the Broncos were absolutely ass atrocious coming to this game because they were like 3-8. Maybe. Or so they're 3-6 coming into this game. And then they get up 20-0 at halftime. And they only lost because Vic Fangio has no like they were quarterbacked by Kyle Allen that game, or Brandon Allen, one of the Allens who do not matter. It must have been Brandon Allen. But yeah, Vikings fans celebrating. Oh, what an amazing comeback! You were down 20 points at home to the Broncos. It's like celebrating the Minneapolis Miracle. Yes, it was an amazing play, but you blew a 17-point halftime lead at home. That doesn't get brought up enough, but I digress. Bye week, lost to stupid Seattle. Kirk actually played pretty well this game. Lions beat down, no big deal. Oh, the Chargers game was fun. Also made me question if Philip Rivers is actually going to do anything in Indy, because I forgot about this. So Chargers, just an absolute, just like annihilation. I mean, Kirk with his extremely just like efficient game. Mike Boone has 2 touchdowns. Just a great game. Fumble, scoop, and score by a Fadi. Then also got a sack, getting after that one. No pick sixes, but 4 interceptions. It was a great game. Just a really great game. Like, there's just something to be said about like a good old fashioned like ass whooping, just putting it on another team. It's great. Plus, you got the long ass flight home, coming back from that stupid communist kickball stadium that seats 4 people. It was all Vikings fans, by the way. Packers signed up. God damn it! Like how do you lose that game? What, were you coming off the emotional high of beating the Chargers? God, it's annoying. It's annoying. Then, of course, the exhibition game. Who cares, against the Bears? Saints game. Saints game was good, especially at the end where you saw Kirk Cousins just sort of be like, "F you, I'm gonna win this game." Great pass to Kyle Rudolph for the game winner in OT. Let's go. And then the Niners game, not so much. Yeah, about that. All right, next up, David Hill. Have you seen the new Madden trailer yet? Spoiler: it has Riley Reef getting deep fried and chocolate served by Zadarius Smith. They also showed Daniil Saki and Matt Stafford. I guess the theme this year is things that will happen 40 times a season. I've not. I don't know if we can play this. I'm gonna try it out. I'll just bring up the tweet. All right. Oh, bring up the full man trailer here. Nah, I'm not gonna. Oh, was that? Yeah, Anthony Barr is coming through on Kerryon Johnson. Congratulations. Both players who were better 2 years ago. I kind of gotten sick of Madden, where this is what happens when you have a monopoly, where there's no incentive for EA to innovate or change the game just because they're the only one who could produce an NFL game. Where if you go back to like 2K was great. Yeah, NFL 2K was phenomenal. I do miss the days when there was multiple outlets that had the NFL contract. Like NFL 2K5 was great, and also it made Madden up its game. That's when we saw some of the improvements like 02, 03, 04. Just because it's weird. That's what you have to do when you're in a competitive market. But now that EA still has that monopoly, it's just so stupid. Next up is Preacher Paul, hauling up for all y'all. I'm not a candy person, but I wanted something. It would be Snickers with intermittent fasting every day. It leaves no room for that while I'm driving. Love the show, Andy. Love you, man. Snickers in the freezer, which is really good. Or just like the Snickers ice cream bars. Or no, here's what you do. Portion control is everything, right? Get the bag of the mini Snickers and then throw that in the freezer. This is great. Go win. Nerd Neck Twix. Twix is good. Twix box. I vaguely remember. So as a kid, like my parents, weren't a big like sweets or candy family, but occasionally they would just buy like the big box of Twix. Now it's not this per se, but it was like the flat box where you had like 16 Twix bars in a box. I can't find a good representation of it. But yeah, they would hide it up in the cupboard. I knew where it was. Shit. Find that thing all the time. Yeah. Next up is Stanley Morris. Saw yesterday you said for those who hunt that we should chat. We've been at it for 22 years since the first time my dad brought me along. Let's chat. Absolutely. So I used to hunt a lot as a kid. Got back into it last year. Went deer hunting. Took a doe, filled the freezer. It was great. But yeah, having a son now. The daughter could not care less about the outdoors, which is fine. But just having a son. I do want him to grow up with hunting and fishing, and just getting back into practice. So when he's old enough, we can really get into it. Plus, well, it actually all started with me just wanting to get more like organic red meat, deer, elk. Like we even had some moose from a friend who came back from a trip that was just really, really good. So getting back into that, Stanley, we'll definitely hook up. I'll put something in the community chat, like email me. So that'd be good. Because, yeah, I definitely want to get on more trips, get out after it, and learn from people that are a lot more seasoned than myself. Just trying to get back into the game. Oakview. Andy was wondering what your thoughts were on if Cleveland should be starting. I know we invested a good draft pick in him. Just above the draft pick was Bradbury, and he starts. Also, probably Skittles. How about you? Skittles are really good. As I said, I would probably be Starburst or Laffy Taffy. So, I want Ezra to start only if it's at left tackle, but it doesn't seem like the Vikings are going to go down that route. Yeah, and I have my hesitations about him as a guard. I worry if he'll be able to play with enough leverage and have that anchor to play inside consistently. But I think that he is going to be a star left tackle of the future. If you're going to do that, may as well just start the clock on him. Drew Smith, is there still any chance the Vikings trade for Joe Thuney? They can make it work with the cap. Also, my favorite candy is probably Hershey's chocolate. Hershey's is great on s'mores. Oh, so what the wife does? So the daughter's really gotten into s'mores lately. We've had a couple of campfires, done a couple of s'mores. But so I have this culinary torch, this kitchen torch that you've seen. So sometimes we'll. Like if the daughter just wants a s'more, we don't have a fire going, but we'll just brulee the marshmallow, and then real key here, just give just a little hit to that Hershey on the graham cracker, just like a quick, just a little heat goes a long way. Like you don't want this thing to become all soup, but just enough so it has tackiness where it sticks to the graham cracker. Because what happened a lot was that. Like the marshmallow will be extremely viscous and hot, and then it'll just like sort of goop all over the place. And then like the chocolate, it can be cold. A lot of people keep their Hershey bars in the fridge, so it can be cold. Sometimes just slides all over that graham cracker because there's no like stickedness. It's not a word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, just like a quick little on that chocolate's really good. Stanley Morris, I don't know if you guys have it out in Minnesota or if it's only available in Pennsylvania, but ROD candy would have to be Gertrude Hawk's peanut butter smidgens. Ride or die. I've not heard of it, but let's look it up. Peanut butter, I'm already in. So Gertrude Hawk peanut butter smidgens. Is this some like Pennsylvania Dutch like Mennonite candy? These look really good though. Yeah. I know I'm in. Oh, the wife's certainly be in. Yeah, peanut butter cups. Shit. Nick Dora, speaking of which, Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah, I forgot about that. Maybe I won't take that $5,000 to never eat chocolate again. Reese's peanut butter cups. What are some off-field issues that would raise red flags if you were a GM? What are some of the off-field issues that wouldn't raise a red flag for you? Well, our arrests are pretty easy. Yes. Any sort of violence towards women, that would be a deal breaker. Except, so red flags that may sound weird, but if his teammates don't like him, like if there's teammates or former teammates or former coaches that don't really like the kid, and you can sort of tell in like the words they use or like body language or whatever, like that would be a deal breaker for me. Red flags that I don't care about. I don't care about weed. I just really don't. Like I understand that it's stupid if you get flagged, especially when you know when a test is coming up. But generally, I really don't care. Now, if it's harder stuff, so and no, I'm not in the camp believing that weed is a gateway drug to harder things. But if the kid's been popped before for like meth or coke or even been rumored to been caught with like distribution levels of weed, then we may have a problem there. But nah, if he's gotten popped a couple times for smoking up a J, nah. Like really hard alcohol issues, that would be a red flag. That I would be concerned about. If they ever tried to start a cult, that would be a red. Well, nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, those are the main ones, like arrests, hard drugs, violence against women. Those would be the major red flag. Oh, also, I mean, if the kid's just an asshole, you know how you can tell if people are assholes? I just feel like that vibe, unless they're super talented, which isn't that always a thing with everything, which is. Next up is Eric Hansen. That's a good question, though. I like that one. Eric Hansen. Can't be good old peanut M&Ms. And that goes back to our texture thing. Like, also, something as simple as like almond Hershey bars, which is really good. Also, enjoy anything dark chocolate. Yeah, I do like dark chocolate more than milk chocolate. Maybe that's just a getting older thing. If I buy a jersey of someone out of our last 2 draft classes, which would be the most valuable and which the least recognized in 10 years? All right, PFR, Vikings, draft. Well, I would not buy an Irv Smith Jr. jersey because I'm worried that once they get rid of Kyle Rudolph, he'll take 82, which is the number that he wore at Alabama and in college. If you're betting on the come, I mean, an Armand Watts jersey would be pretty sweet. I wouldn't buy. I would not buy an Ezra Cleveland jersey because I think that, well, he's wearing 72 now. I think he'll take 76, the number he wore in college and high school, after they move on from Alabama to Collins. So I'd pause on that. Oh, man, I think Cameron Dantzler one would be pretty good. I love Jeff Gladney to death, except I think Dantzler's ceiling might be a little bit higher. A Jefferson one is pretty solid. If you wanted to just throw a dart, a James Lynch or a Kenny Willekes, I wouldn't buy James Lynch right now. I think he will take number 93 after Shamar Stephen gets moved on. Because Lynch is like number 66 now. Yeah, that dog ain't going to hunt. Otherwise, I would just get an Austin Cutting jersey just for the fun of it. Because I actually think of these 2 drafts, I think there's a good chance that Austin Cutting is a Viking the longest. Just is what it is. I mean, look how long Cullen Loeffler played for the Vikings. Or superstar Mike Morris. Next up is... but Mike Morris is funny. All right, so superstar Mike Morris. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Why is there a picture of Troy Aikman for Mike Morris? Just funny to me. All right, so yeah, Mike Morris was jacked back in the day. I mean, like, why does your long snapper look like that? Like, your long snapper is supposed to look like Kevin McDermott, just sort of spindly and whatever. All right, so how long did he play? Oh, he was with the Vikings for 9 years. He's in the league since 86. Looked like. Oh, he was in the USFL, Michigan Panthers. Oh, he was a champion with the Michigan Panthers. That's funny. There you go. Northeast Missouri State. Why does that school sound? Truman State. Why does this school sound vaguely familiar? Alumnus, notable alumni. Sports. That's all it cares about. Sports. Ken Norton. Oh, Greg Williams went here. F this school right in the A. Yeah, Greg Williams apparently went here. F you. School is canceled. Dissolve the. How big is the endowment at this school? 39.8 million. Seize it all. Yeah. Mike Morris was. What was the point again? Oh, Mike Morris. Yeah, he started the KFM Power Trip, and then he got kicked off. Been pretty bitter about that. So there you go. What the hell were we even talking about? Get on some of these rants, which are kind of fun. It's off season. It's fine. Live stream. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us give a couple shouts. I always enjoy doing that. Next up, peanut butter M&Ms are amazing and classic. I'm not a diehard hunter, but I love pheasant hunting. Being from South Dakota, have you ever been pheasant hunting? I was once as a kid, so I mostly deer hunting. I only deer hunted last year. I hunted season B here. We're in the slug area of Minnesota. So I went pheasant hunting once. Went duck hunting once. Done turkey hunting a couple times, but only like spring. I never enjoy turkey hunting. I feel like I enjoy it more once I get back into bow more. But what I was bummed me out about turkey hunting, so you have to fully dress up in camo, like Rambo, because turkeys can see color, and like you have to call them in, stay perfectly still. If you're in the spring, it could be hot as hell, and then. If you do all these things and you're able to lure in like a big fat Jake, and then you get him, it's like, oh, we have a turkey. Yeah. Next up is Brett Vuvuzelos. Why do you think it is taking so long for the Vikings to sign both Anthony Harris and Dalvin Cook? It's a deadline-driven league. Things don't have to get done until they have to. They have until training camp with Dalvin, as well as, I believe it's July 15th with Harris on the franchise day, which I don't know why they limit how long you can negotiate a long-term deal if you're on a tag. I feel like that's kind of dumb. Ryder Candy is M&M's. It's got a thin candy shell. You have a thin candy shell. Stanley Morris, do you believe in ghosts? Yeah, I believe in Patrick Swayze. And have you watched or liked the show Ghost Adventures? I've not seen that with Super Douche Zach Baggins. Actually, the wife has been watching some ghost show recently, and maybe Ghost Adventures. Yeah, I think it's on YouTube TV. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this show. Yeah, because I recognize the dude with Beardo and the dude with glasses. Yeah, I do believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I think that there's obviously something in the afterlife. I don't think that things just go dark. Now, is that heaven? Is that purgatory? Is it reincarnation? I don't know. It's TBD. But yeah, I think there are some people who have passed on but haven't completely passed on. Some tortured souls for whatever reason. We'll explain a lot of things. Yep. Next up is Charlie Boltman. Reese's Cups. Yeah. Also, something you can't explain is that like Reese's Bunnies or Reese's Santas, they taste better than the cups. They just do. Don't at me. Is this delicious or disgusting? Cake batter froyo with Reese's Cups, chocolate chip cookie dough, and crumbled Butterfinger. My go-to cheat meal. I feel like that sounds really good. So cake batter flavored frozen yogurt with all of like the chocolate in there. No, I think that's fine. Yeah, to each their own. Now, if you put ketchup on, no. All right, a couple shout outs. Let's see here. Zach Balla Skull from NoCo. What's going on? Shout out Powerful Colorado. Rayshawn Ivory, loyal listener, loyal viewer, I guess. Skull from St. Paul. I love St. Paul. St. Paul's a great town. Plus they have police, which is great. Brody Rudd, Skull from Lonsdale, Minnesota. Lonsdale is basically going to be a suburb coming up, but South Metro are representing. Scott Sharp, repping that Skull, that Cali weed. Big Grover, Compton, California, coming straight out of Compton. What up? Devin A. Toft, Skull from Santa Monica. Preacher Paul, rolling through Kelso, Washington, on the way to Seattle. Thanks for reminding me of the frozen Snickers. Hey, you got it, man. We're working on those mugs, too. We'll get those mugs. Don't worry about it. Next up is Sandman66. If you had a garden where you just grew one thing, I do not believe in monoculture. What would it be? And 100 gram is my weakness. Yeah, I feel like the obscure candy bars, like 100 gram is really good. Yeah. If you had to grow one thing, what would it be? Weed. Nah, just playing. It would be poppy seeds. Grow one thing. It might be chives. As weird as it sounds, like it wouldn't be corn, it wouldn't be soybeans, it wouldn't be potatoes. Like it wouldn't be, well, not tomatoes. Tomatoes are really good. But no, just a complete like garden full of chives where I use chives on everything. They're great. And also they're really low maintenance. They just grow like grass and you just literally just go through and clip them, then it just grows back. So I might say chives are green onions. Green onions are very durable as well. Like, because I remember as a kid, we had a garden and there was chives and there was green onions that would just grow back every single year. Like, never had to plant any bulbs or seeds or anything. It's just like, bam, there they are. So yeah, one of those two. Just really love onions. They count as a vegetable, right? You know, they say kids eat your vegetables. I just always ate onions. And that's why I never got girls. Skull Nation. What are your predictions for these stats? Mike Hughes, what do you think about these predictions? Mike Hughes, 2 forced fumbles, 15 passes broken up, 3 interceptions. I'm in. Hefe, forced fumble, sack and half. Might be a little bit low. I mean, Gladney is like really underrated in terms of blitzer. 2 passes broken up, 2 picks. Love it. Adam Thielen, 94, 1247, 11 touchdowns. I don't know if he get 11 touchdowns because I think he's never had more than 9 touchdowns in his career, 1247. But now that he's wide receiver 1, I mean, it's a 13.2, 13.3 yards per catch, and maybe a little bit shallow, especially since I think he's going to be more of the deep threat now. Herb, 66 for 746 and 8. Would love to see it. It's a little bit high, but would love to see it. Armon Watts, too low. Too low. Which one do you think is the most accurate and why? I think Watts is low. I think Smith might be high. I think Thielen maybe a little bit low in terms of yards per catch, a little bit high in touchdowns. And Gladney might be low here. Yeah, I'll take Hughes. Yeah, because I think quarterbacks will test him, so I think that he will have a chance for this many passes broken up. 3 picks. I think that's pretty easy peasy. Mike Hughes is a stud. People forget. Ethan Griffith. Good question, though. Not a big candy guy, but if I was fortunate, I'd say Dots. Yeah. Man, I have a thing about Dots candy. I don't trust them. As weird as it sounds, because you look at Dots, right? And you think, all right, this is going to be a delicious, like fruity, gummy candy. And no, like they're a little bit plasticky. You just kind of have to gnaw on them. Like the flavor of Dots is like the flavor of LaCroix water. It's just like a hint. It's a wisp. It's like a fart of lime. I mean, that's what Dots tastes like. No, actually, Dots. It's like chewing on like you remember those rubber erasers on the end of pencils when people are actually in school, actually use pencils and not tablets. Yeah, it's kind of like what Dots is. But other than that, I have no opinion. 3 teams other than the Vikes who you are betting to exceed or fall short of their over-under wins this year. And I'm going for Panthers and the Bears. Also on the Ravens, just 12 wins to win. All right, so let's under wins. All right, so this is from May. May 26th. Shark NFL. Dun. All right, bring this on screen. All right, so Ravens 11.5. Man, that if they get 11, I think that's got a first place schedule. It's up at the under. Kind of getting juiced there. I bet the Bears under 8.5. Plus, you're getting a little love there at plus 130, so I would do that. Ooh, Texans at under 7.5. I would do that. I mean, you're getting relatively straight up. Yeah, because 110 either direction is the norm. Minus 110 is the norm in terms of juice. Chiefs. Man, if you're getting a little bit of extra love and you're betting the under 11.5, because I mean 11 wins is still a damn good season. I may take the Chiefs there. I bet the Saints under pretty easily. I bet the Eagles under. Getting a little bit of a discount there at minus 105. Bucks at 9.5. So they're basically paying you the juice to try and take this under. I mean, if they get 9 wins, I mean, that's still a decent season. I think they'll still be in the playoff mix. Washington over 5.5. I love Ron Rivera. I think you can make a case they have the best front seven in the league too. So plus 100, I would take that. The over. Yeah. Actually, we should just do a full video on that. Maybe we'll do that. Who's winning a fight? Chuck Norris versus Popeye Post Spinach. Chuck Norris, because Chuck Norris is real. Pulford Skull. Trade Pat for Carson Wentz and toss in a pick. And then we trade for Easton Stick. I see where this is going. Finally, draft Trey Lance in the spring. Then we got NDSU quarterbacks one time. Be a great quarterback. Rimalo Bias since the win to NDSU. Also, signed Tyler Rowell to be the running back, as well as Brock Jensen. Yeah, bring him in. Sign up Billy Turner. Keep up great work, Andy. You're the man. You're the man, Pulford. You're always representing. Yeah. So let's look into Tyler Rowell. So when I was playing Madden, I would always have this jabroni be amped in because there's just something about the white running back. I don't know what it is, like the white rhino. But yeah, look at this dude's neck. It's like we're talking about like Takeo Spikes level neck. Wait, he was with the Vikings? Hold on. We need to do some research here. Hold on. All right, so Tyler Rowell. I mean, did he get a tryout with the Vikings? Was that it? All right, so to rookie minicamp. Yeah, so he had a UDFA tryout. Oh, not rookie camp tryout, not a UDFA, but you know what I mean. All right, so yeah, you got. But yeah, look at this. All right, so his final 2 years at NDSU, 1,431, 6.9 yards per carry. Nice. Just absolutely insane. 35 total touchdowns. I mean, this dude was a truck. He was a train. NDSU. Because, well, he's 6 foot, 235, somewhere in there. He's a relatively big dude. Did NDSU win this game, by the way? I mean, so let's look that up. NDSU Gophers game. Oh, yeah, Brock Jensen back in the day. Oh, my God. The Bison beat the brakes off of the... You'd have to say Bison, right? Like M. Bison from... Oh, my God. Let's look at this stupid box score. Oh, my God. All right, so Brock Jensen, the legendary Brock Jensen. So Tyler Roll apparently was in this game. Whatever. But, man, this is rough. Shortell, Marquise Gray. Marquise Gray still in the league? He might be. And that's rough. It's embarrassing. Also, what's even more embarrassing is a lot of these NDSU players are probably from Minnesota, so you can't even keep recruits in state from going to an outstate FCS team. Just gag me. Also, you don't even give a priority walk-on look, cursory glance at Trey Lance. Stupid PJ Fleck. Cody and Sosa. I'm not even a Gophers fan. That pisses me off. Cody and Sosa. If you could make one trade on offense and one on defense, who'd you trade for? And Sour Gummy Bears for me. Skull from Alabama. Skull. Let's see here. War Eagle or Roll Tide? It's at both. Actually, can you be a fan of both in Alabama? I don't know. Actually, no. I pick UAB. Blazers. Sorry, try and cancel my football program. Shoot. Joe Webb for life. For life. One trade on offense, one trade on defense, one realistic trade. A trade for Thuney on offense. On defense, I would trade for... I don't even know who's on the block, who's available. Oh, Yannick Ngakoue. We can make it work with the cap. We got Brzezinski. Sam Maros, do you think Brown O'Neill is one of the best takers in the tackles in the game because he goes against Daniel Hunter every practice? That could be part of it. I mean, iron sharpens iron. Could certainly be part of it. Lord Thick Chunka. Twizzlers, everyone else talks crap about them, but I love them. I'm not a big licorice guy. What was it, Twizzlers or Red Vines? I would pick Twizzlers over Red Vines. Red Vines are just weird to me. Although, see you. Yeah, the one licorice that I do like is this Wiley Wallaby, like Australian green apple licorice. That's actually pretty good. Or yeah, was let's see, sour apple candy. I'm trying to think like what were they? What was the candy called where it's like ropes? It's not Sour Patch Kids. Because wait, what? Sour apple Laffy Taffy? I've never encountered these. Yeah, sour apple candy ropes. 'Cause I vaguely remember as a kid. What's it? Sour Punch? It might be. Why is Staples? Yeah, it must have been Sour Punch. Why is Staples selling candy online? By the way, this is why you're going out of business. Yeah. Also, how come no one has reviewed Sour Punch 4-flavor variety box from Staples? Also, $20. What, Staples? This is why you're out of business, man. You're selling a 4-pack of candy for $20. Plus, you probably don't have free shipping, so this is probably gonna be like $25. God, this pissed me off. Staples and Office Max. I don't know how you're hanging on, man. I just don't. The market is Darwinism at its finest. There you go. What player on the Vikings do you think has the best chance for an NFL award? Kirk Cousins MVP? Woo! I'd say Dantzler or Heffy could have a chance for a defensive rookie of the year. Jefferson, if he leads the all rookies in receptions, would certainly have a good shot. Although it's a quarterback award, they'll just give it to whichever quarterback does decent, which is just really annoying. A couple more shots. Eric Hansen, Arlington, Minnesota. What's going on? Michael Rucker, school from Raleigh, North Carolina. North Carolina, come on and raise up. There you go. All right, so next up is Sam Morris. Pick 3 player. Comeback player of the year, Mike Hughes. Sure, I guess that could be it. Pick 3 players from this list to sign back. Everson, Kyle Long, Dalvin, Linval, Thuney, or Harris. Well, Linval is already spoken for. You'd have to trade for Thuney. So I would pick Harris, Dalvin, and Everson, I guess. I'm going to make it work with the cap. Pulford Skull, I agree with the Kyle Long video. Sign him for cheap. Let him do his thing. Suck at Bears. Don't listen to the haters that bash your page. We love you, Andy. I keep doing your thing. Best content videos around Skull. Hey, thank you. I just think it's funny. It's like, I understand like the Asian jokes. I fully understand and lead into them. Even though, in 2020, going racist, I don't know if it's necessarily the best thing to do. But fat. Like, I understand, like, maybe there's a little extra poundage. Maybe I got the dad bod going on, but I don't think I'm that fat. I actually think I look pretty damn good. It's just weird. It's like if the guy in the comments saying, like, your mustache is ugly. What mustache? Well, mustache from back in the day. Sure, whatever. Tristan, why does everyone disrespect the Vikings when I watch schedule predictions? I always see us at 10 or 6 or lower. Personally believe we'll be 12-4, 11-5 team next year. I don't know. I think it's easy just to bag on the Vikings. Just nationally, it's easy to do. Yeah. Mo Abdul 99, cookies and cream Hershey's or some Skittles. Skittles are good. Yeah. Tristan, what's your most hated movie? For me, it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The long, also real bad, completely ruins 3 years of movies. Brandon doesn't exist. So what movies do I like not enjoy? I guess Frozen, just because my kid watched it for so often. Also, Tangled is a better movie than Frozen. It just is. It's a better storyline. The main characters are more admirable. The protagonists, the antagonists are more believable. Movies I actually actively hate. So, well, going down the vein is like movies that are like really popular that I don't understand, like Wes Anderson movies. I just don't. I know that producer Allie just completely just like flipping out right now. So I've actually seen most of them. Actually, let's go to IMDb. That'd be easier. So Wes Anderson and Stupid Face. So Wes Anderson, let's go director. So I actually like Rushmore from back in the day. Royal Tenenbaums is good, but once they started getting into Life Aquatic, Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest. I feel like Grand Budapest Hotel was where it jumped the shark, where everyone's like, this is the best movie ever. And I watched it, and I like a lot of the characters, or not characters, the actors. Like, I really like Ralph Fiennes, I like Adrian Brody, love Willem Dafoe. Goldblum is obviously great. Harvey Keitel is great. Bill F. and Murray is obviously the man, part owner of the St. Paul Saints, by the way. Stud. Ed Norton is great. It's not my thing. And speaking of it, so Saoirse Ronan, which with a name like Ronan, I know it's misspelled, but you think that she'd be Japanese. 47 Ronin. All right, so the movie Lady Bird and the movie Brooklyn, which I think won Oscars. I know Lady Bird did for sure. I saw both of them, and I thought they were fine movies, but I didn't really get the hype. Same thing with like Lady in the Water. Like, there's a lot of movies that I watch where, so I fully admit I'm a movie watcher. I'm not a film watcher. So maybe that they're just like too smart and intellectual for me. But like Hollywoodland, Lady Bird, Lady in the Water, I just didn't get. I just didn't understand. Oh, Roma Mazel. Preacher Paul, Christmas Story. I've warmed up to A Christmas Story because it's become more of a tradition for us now. So we just watch it on a TBS every year. So Romuald Mazel, most hated movie for me, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. But I can see why people dislike it. Or I more have issue with movies that are extremely popular, but I think are bad. Except my taste in movies is really bad too, because I love Con Air. Like, I think Armageddon is one of the greatest movies of all time. I really do. But I will say this. So IMDb Christmas Story. So I do like Christmas Story to a degree because the redheaded bully. So the redheaded bully in the movie, Scoot Farkas. So he's played by Zach Ward. Now, Zach Ward was both in 28 Weeks Later, as well as he was on the sitcom Titus, which is, by the way, is maybe... I'm going to search. So Titus was probably one of the greatest sitcoms ever. Starring Christopher Titus, a great stand-up comedian. Stacy Keach was in this show. Zach Ward, Cynthia Watros was fantastic. I mean, this was... 7.6. I think that's even low in terms of a show that only lasted 3 seasons. But this was ahead of its time in terms of being politically incorrect, being crude. It's just really, really good. Ahead of its time, and then it could only be made a number of years ago. Like, I don't think you could make this show today because, people. All right, last one. Anything with excessive sugariness, Skittles, Chewy, Sweet Tarts, I'm in. Do you believe, who do you believe was the most talented Vikings wide receiver since Moss? My vote is Sidney Rice. The forgotten one, Moss, attributes my speed, just wish he could stay healthy. Sidney Rice was certainly good, but then he left and they got hurt. Sidney Rice actually only had one good season in 2009 with Favre, but a number of reasons. Straight up talent, Percy. Some of the things that Percy did was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you could classify him as a running back as well. Everything that he had going on, with the migraines, and everyone labeled him problem child, but it turns out he was having like severe anxiety issues, which there's a lot more empathy for now. Just wish that Percy had played now when there was less stigma, and he could have maybe gotten the help that he needed a little bit earlier. And because every time Percy touched the ball, he was extremely dynamic. He was just ridiculous. Straight up talent-wise, beyond Percy,